Hello and welcome back to this createasim episode. In this episode I'm creating the Beck family consisting of Asta and Nora, and I will begin with Asta, the grandmother of Nora. I randomized my sim again to get a template, and I was actually pretty happy with what came out. I had to just do some fine-tuning, but mostly she kinda stayed how she was in the beginning. Especially her outfit was already pretty great, so I went with it. And for Asta's trait, she is a animal lover, artistic, dramatic, eco-friendly and good. And about her story, when Asta's daughter and son-in-law died in an accident, she was the only relative who could take in their daughter Nora. She did so gladly, but ever since she has been worried about who would take care of Nora when she is no longer around. She is especially grateful that Astrid has taken Nora in and became a motherly figure for her. Asta always tried to give Nora everything she could, but due to her advancing age, her ability to provide for her was naturally limited. So for Asta, I just imagine a really friendly and outgoing person who is friends with everyone in the village, maybe except for the Nissen family, but she is just a really nice person. And I just gave her some cute clothes for an elderly woman, very colorful. At least I really like the color green, so most of my sims get either green or yellow colored clothes. But she looks really friendly in my opinion, and that's what she should look like. And then I got to creating her granddaughter Nora. And by the way, Asta is around 65 years old and Nora is 15 years old, so she is still a teenager. Nora is an equestrian, a genius, good and shy, so in comparison to Asta, Nora doesn't really know a lot of people in town because she is not as outgoing, but as I told in the Nissen episode, she is a very good friend of Astrid because they both love horses and spend a lot of time at the stable, so Astrid is kind of her only friend. And Nora has lived with her grandmother since she was 7 years old. The death of her parents deeply affected her and she withdrew into herself. Her grandmother encouraged her to help out at the riding stable so that she wouldn't spend all her time cooped up in the house. There, Nora found peace and solace in caring for the animals. Astrid, who owned the horses, taught Nora how to ride and showed her to properly care for the animals. Now Nora spends almost every free moment at the stable and has found a surrogate mother in Astrid with whom she can share all her problems and worries. And for her looks, she is good looking, but she isn't that like super fashion girly, so she has some very normal and still cute clothes, but maybe a bit more old-fashioned in comparison to other girls her age. For a template, I actually just used Asta and duplicated her and turned her into a teenager, but I did a lot of changes to her face and body, so she isn't actually a complete twin of Asta. And also with the kind of red clothes I gave her for some of her outfits. She did remind me of Bella Goth, especially with her black hair. For her story, I don't really know where it will go, so there are not really any other teenagers in town yet. Maybe if Noah Nissen gets older, they could date, but I have also another boy in town who is just turned into a young adult, so they could start a relationship. For girls, I do also not have any other option for her, so she is just a loner kind of, because there are not any available friends for her in town, so maybe I'm going to change that at some point. And for Esther, obviously, she does not have that much time left, but I made her age so that Nora will turn into a young adult before Esther dies, so she doesn't just vanish because she gets taken in by the Sims Youth Welfare Office. I don't know if that exists, but I think if a teenager lives alone, I guess they would get taken away because they couldn't live alone as an townie, but I'm not sure. So here you can see them how they look in game, and as the post already tells, they really get along well and like each other. So when Esther dies eventually, it probably will be hard for Nora, but she still has Astrid, so I think she will be fine. And they live actually in town in one of the semi-detached houses. It is kind of small, but it fits perfectly for 2 Sim. And I'm excited to see what will happen with Nora. And thank you a lot for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next episode. Bye!